1811 4000। यही कंज्यूमर हेल्पलाइन।
जागो ग्राहक जागो।
So what do we hope from 2007? Well, certainly we all hope that it rings in good cheer. It rings in lesser unsolicited calls. In fact, it rings in calls at a much lesser rate. Let the consumer be king. Isn't that what we all want? Certainly we do. And that becomes the bane of our issue today, our discord today. It's all about roaming and choming. Come February, roaming charges may come down. Remember, may come down. Though the mobile service operators are completely against the reduction, they would be. Telecom regulator TRAI says it's going to enforce a regulation that could ensure it.
Will the roaming charges on mobile phone calls come down? The users find the current charges exorbitant, but service operators are dead against reducing roaming tariffs. The telecom regulator TRAI says it might enforce a regulation for the purpose. Of course, first it would explore all options to arrive at a solution. The decision would come by the end of this month. TRAI wants to revise the existing tariff by fixing a ceiling based on usage. This means there would not be any rental charges, but only a composite roaming tariff on a per-minute basis. The two industry bodies, COAI and the AUSPI, have opposed the TRAI proposal to slash the roaming charges. They say that market forces and not the regulator should determine the roaming tariffs.
Whatever is being charged there is a value-based proposition. Why are we interfering in that? Because that's not a common man service, it is not a basic telephony. You want these this minority of the entire population, do you want them to subsidize, to get subsidy from the common man? Because 90% of the people are the common people, for whom tariffs are the lowest in the world.
The mobile phone operators want the roaming charges to be high. They say these calls involve using other networks, termination charges and wide tracking. According to them, any attempt to regulate the tariff of a small fraction of the overall usage would force operators to push up the customer tariffs, which will affect the masses. Operators such as BSNL also want to charge higher tariffs for SMS on roaming. The company feels that since the SMS while roaming involves signaling network and the expense on clearing house service, it should be treated differently from those sent by subscribers in home circle. Roaming charges are now nearly 4 times than the usual call tariff. That's why the users are raising the issue of affordability.
Sometimes, like when I am using roaming, the bill comes up to 3,000 to 4,000, which is really very inconvenient, and it just shoots up to 5,000 also. If the roaming charges are reduced, it will definitely help everybody.
Slashing down roaming charges should definitely come into effect because the charges at present are very heavy.
The European Union has already proposed to cut down the roaming charges by 50%. If not so much, mobile phone users in India will also see some fall in the roaming tariff by month end.
Customers will clearly be very happy if roaming charges go down. But this won't be so easy as operators are in a mood to fight it tooth and nail. In New Delhi, Manoj Sharma, Headlines Today.
All right, we need lesser rates, particularly on roaming. We need more transparency when it comes to billing. We also need more transparency when it comes to the competitive law. What is it that the consumer really wants? He wants lesser charges, but on what account? Sriram Khanna represents the consumers right here with us in our studios. What do you want, sir?
Chetan, Mr. Ramachandran was talking on behalf of his masters.
Sure.
And his masters are described by me as the telecom barons who are greedy. They want to take every penny from my pocket and add to their wealth.
That's a qualitative statement.
No, it's not. Let me tell you.
How do you quantify
No,
it?
because these roaming charges were determined when the subscriber base was small. They had a clip charge. They had a roaming charge. Mind you.
Do you agree? One minute. Prime Minister, do you agree with the fact that to some extent, roaming charges, the way they are today, are used to subsidize local charges for the masses, which is not a bad thing?
That is a complete bullshit, because that is not correct. The charges that these people are doing are above their marginal costs. They are covering full costs, so there is no subsidy. And the kind of profits these people are making out of normal calls are super profits. And that is because number portability is not there.
How do you ascertain that? How do you ascertain what a super profit is and a non-super profit is?
You look at the amount of profit. A normal industry makes a return of 10, 12, 13% on their capital invested. The amount of money these people have made in the last 8 years is coming from my pocket.
Mr. Khanna, at the end of it all, it's coming from my pocket as well. But at the end of it all, we cannot forget that India still has the cheapest mobile rates.
It can still be cheaper because it deserves.
There is no end to that. After all, it's a business that has to be.
Because they don't want competition. These people, represented by Mr. Ramachandran, have opposed number portability. Why they have opposed number portability?
You said that they don't want competition. All right, I guess the most fair thing would be to ask the people involved. We'll talk to a telecom service provider in just a moment when we return and ask them the fact: do they want competition or don't they? Stay with us. Welcome back to our special roaming Discord. We are trying to debate whether the new year will bring in roaming charges that are cheaper than they were in 2006. Is there a case for that? Well, the consumer section does feel strongly that there is a case for that. They also feel telecom companies are making super profits. But what do the representative of the companies feel? Mr. S.C. Khanna was right here with us in our studios. Can roaming charges come down?
You know, it is a issue of marketing forces. Now, why the telecom is successful in India and why our rates are the cheapest in the world, that we had left on forbearance. Let the market forces decide what should be the rate. You have seen, we have even giving you traffic at 50 paisa a minute. Anywhere in the country you can talk on that. Based on that, it is automatic system which has brought the rate from 16 rupees to 1 rupees or 50 paisa. Similarly, every rate will go down. There's no other way.
That's a fair point. I mean, market forces should be allowed to act. Why do you want to enforce something?
Yes, but let's understand what are market forces. Sure. Mr. Khanna's companies and the members of COAI are holding up and creating technology barriers by opposing number portability. The time you give us number portability, that I can take my telephone number to any operator, there will be competition. Right. But Mr. Khanna and his companies are standing against and lobbying against the TRAI's recommendations.
All right.
They are the people who want super profits.
They've got the right. Let's take their point of view.
There was an open house on this.
Sure. And no, are you opposed to number portability?
First of all,
no, they are opposed to
one minute, Mr. Khanna, 1 minute. Please.
Hold on.
Are you
opposed? A telecom studio.
Sure, sir.
Studio. We are not here to fight.
Sure.
No, I'm here to express my views.
Sure. Sir.
Don't.
It's all right. Sir, please.
See, number portability. US has got the number portability only 2 years ago. There is a case for number portability.
Are you opposed to it? Are you opposed to it?
There's no. Our view was there were different views. Some operators wanted to oppose it. Some operators wanted to. Not to implement it, some wanted to implement it. There are two schools of thought on this, whereas the association kept quiet on this because we didn't find any fire. But I'll tell you one view. Yeah. India is not yet ripe for number portability because if you want to do number portability, you will have to spend at least 4,000 to 5,000 crores in this network. Now, at the moment, we want to give phone to a common man. You see, my problem is that the middle class people are jumping more on this issue. Because they're the ones
who are using the phones maximum. They're obviously the ones who are affected the most.
No, they're not. I'll tell you. Let's take the case of Maharashtra. There's a big circle. I am giving local call right from one corner of Maharashtra to the other corner of Maharashtra. There's only 5 to 6% of the population which roam between Delhi and Bombay. Right? It's not more than that.
No, but why do you impose something that is higher than normal?
It's a special service. It's a special service.
But okay, why not allow, as what Mr. Khanna was saying, why not allow me on my phone to go across to any other network which I'm roaming in and choose whichever operator I want, because that's the transparent method of doing it.
In the case of CDMA, the technology is such that you have to remain on my network.
Right. No, that's the problem. That's why he's trying to say there is a monopolistic trend in the way you're operating.
It's not like this. It's not like this. In the case of GSM, as soon as you land up in Bombay, there is a different networks which get you the signal and you get into that network. That's no such. We are not restricting that. We want to explain to Mr. Khanna that it costs money to carry the call. If the roamer from Delhi is in Bombay, I have to carry his call on my national network to Bombay, and then vice versa. unless I carry the call, the cost of carrying the call is there. There also my tariff is from 1 rupee to 3 rupees. The limitation is 3. I am giving it 1 rupee also.
It's an argument which stands only in one corner, ignoring the other 3. I have a GSM connection. I am forced to pay 49 rupees for a whole month for roaming charges, even if I use it for 2 days. Sometimes I find that my bill is for 3 months. They will not switch it off, even after my telling them.
But that's a different matter.
Just a minute. If I'm using it for 2 days and I'm making 5 calls, you should make a charge on the calls that I have made. But how you can charge me for a service which I am not using for 28 days in a month, number 1. Number 2, whatever he's saying
that's a methodology. You pay a rent even on the other, on your subscription also. That also is the same thing.
For that period, I am paying the rent for my phone during that period. This is a super charge on the rent, the roaming charge.
It is a fixed charge. It's not a super charge.
It's a fixed charge.
I have a tariff plan which I have given to Mr. Khanna. Sure. It's his choice which tariff plan he wants to accept. He has accepted tariff plan A. So on tariff plan A, he has to pay 49 rupees. On tariff plan B,
he has the option not to pay that at all and pay a higher charge.
See, we are telling the TRAI, the job of putting the caps on the tariffs are not Mr. Khanna's, they are yours. And you have to put a cap because this is no longer
but you started this discussion saying that why put caps, why not have market forces to allow it? The market forces put on the prices.
Until number portability comes, when I can choose, supposing I don't like his service, I'll go to somebody else. But today I am not allowed to do that because some of his companies are lobbying against the TRAI recommendation and persuading the telecom ministry to shoot it down. His member companies have opposed telecom, the number portability and COAI.
Listen. I want to make it clear.
I will name the companies.
I'll make it clear. There is no lobbying. See, TRAI sent his recommendation on number portability. As I said, the ASFI was quiet on this. The government put up a policy, a sort of a committee of at least 4 secretaries were involved in that committee. And that committee gave a verdict that India is not yet ripe for number portability. That's why number portability has not come. Today, if the number portability comes as per the government instructions, we will implement it. We have no problem. What is the problem?
Will that satisfy you?
Look, even if you say...
No, will that satisfy you?
They say, okay, 6 months. You give us 6 months?
I don't have to give. If the government has to give.
No, but your companies have lobbied. I will name the companies. I will give you name of their lobbying executives.
Mr. Khanna.
Lobbying. We don't want to do lobbying.
So if TRAI implements what he's saying, you're satisfied.
This is a telecom ministry which has given the general public phone at the lowest price, lower than anywhere in the world.
All right.
As compared to China.
No, it is not the government which has given. It is the size of the market which has given.
No.
So fair enough. So that's exactly the point.
You are rubbishing consumers. Because I am paying your bills, you get your salary.
Okay.
Without my bills, you will not get your salary.
Mr. Khanna?
No, it's very clear because we are fighting these people.
Can I tell you that the consumers have other problems as well? Can we talk about them? We'll talk about them. Well, the first one, poor service. It's one of them. Inflated bills, high rentals, and of course, don't forget the very draconian, unsolicited telemarketing calls. It's a problem.
High roaming charges are not the only issue that mobile users are concerned about. Industry watchers feel that TRAI must intervene to ensure that monthly rentals and call tariffs charged by operators were cost-based. According to TRAI estimate, the cost-based rental for each subscriber comes out to be 61 rupees 25 paise. But the operators charge high rentals under the garb of different tariff packages and forbearance. Even with the One India plan, under which call tariffs are 1 rupee per minute throughout the country, the monthly rental works out to be 70 rupees. Operators are charging more than double of this. But more than rentals, the subscribers are concerned about service, call drops, cross connections, low network coverage and inflated bills.
Frankly saying that they are providing good, cheap rates, but according to the service, sorry to say, it's not good as it should be.
Unwanted marketing calls are another nuisance. But if telecom companies have their way, they will continue to trouble you with such calls even after the Do Not Call registry comes into effect in mid-2007. Telecom operators have written to TRAI demanding that all communication undertaken by service provider with a subscriber should be exempted from the unsolicited commercial calls category. Not just that, some operators demand that telemarketing calls, SMS and other commercial messages to past and prospective customers should also be allowed. Meanwhile, the government has denied number portability to users. That means for the sake of retaining the old mobile number, you have to stick to your service provider, even if he's giving a poor service. With Manoj Sharma in Delhi, Ritu Vaishnav, Headlines Today.
All right, India may have the cheapest telephone calls in the world when it comes to rates, but they perhaps have the highest rentals. How do we justify that, Mr. Khanna?
See, rentals depends on the package. Now, there are about 30, 40 packages which are offered to the customer. Now, it depends. There is one chap who gets a call. Just listen to me. 999 rupees he pays, and whole life he will get incoming free. He will have to buy a card for making a call, and he buy a card of 30 rupees in a month and uses at 2 rupees or 1 rupee 50 paisa. But I am giving him, his wife from a village can talk to him all his life on that. That's my one package. There is another package which is costing 300 rupees, 299, where my call cost is lowest. It is 75 paisa, 1 rupee, like that. Different rates are there. So it is depending on the package, and always remember.
You think that our rentals are fair?
Sir, tell me, I am getting people from US. The other day there was a delegation from US. There was a delegation from Europe. They are telling us, tell us, how are you selling the telecom at this price?
Now, come on. So
where is the answer
saying that they are making supernatural profits? Here you've got
People
American
want to learn from us how to do
We can read their balance sheets. We can read the stock markets. So don't think consumers are fools.
No. Let's not get unnecessarily
comment on my balance sheet.
aggressive.
No, why not? Why you are a secret balance sheet?
Balance sheets.
You are taking my wealth.
Mr. Khanna,
you are putting high tariffs on me, and you are justifying because you are offering somebody a cheaper price.
Mr. Khanna, balance sheets can be window dressed. Let's
We are not. That's not important. It's not part of my job.
It's not a part of your job, but it is a part of mine. Your balance sheet is a part of my job.
The important
You are
thing,
bleeding consumers.
Mr. Khanna, the important thing is that when he's saying that American companies have come down out here and they're saying how are we managing on these rates, can you justify that? The rates are low. Can you give an answer? Forget about making qualitative.
Firstly, I have not heard any American company say that, and if I have to read a statement,
the fact is,
I can respond only after reading what they say.
I'll tell you why it's justified. The fact is justified
because in USA the minimum wage is $2,000 a month.
Right,
that's the minimum wage in the district where his companies are there is 3,000 rupees.
That's a fair point.
Still, I am giving him the telecom at 999 rupees. I am giving him for lifetime free. What else you want?
What they want when you have in a state like America, when within a state you have a local call, why should we be having these STD charges still levied within a certain circle?
One of my operators is offering 1 rupee 3 minutes a call. Delhi, Bombay. That's also being offered.
You're only talking about Delhi, Mumbai because that's a high area. Why can't we have a local charge like in America in a particular state?
Everywhere, even the Prime Minister of this country said that I am proud of telecom reforms. Right? Recently, in a seminar he said so. Everybody, even China wants to learn from us that how we have reduced the rates to this extent. And that's
also, what he's saying, because you've got the numbers of people who subscribe.
I would like to tell Mr. Khanna that his government, the government of India, is charging 26% levies and taxes on us. Still we are giving at this rate. Why can't this consumer go to Mr. Chidambaram and tell him to reduce the taxes? And we can promise that we will pass on most of the benefit to the consumer.
No, but don't be mistaken. You are not paying the taxes. I am paying the taxes.
But that's what I'm going in the price.
No, I am not saying that.
You want to pay lesser taxes, don't you?
No.
You don't want to pay lesser taxes.
Just a minute.
No, do you or don't you?
I am not here to debate the finance minister's budget. I'm here to debate the lobbying power which the telecom barons use to extract more money out of consumers. And the TRAI has been soft on them. On number portability, on ombudsman setting up, on harassment of consumers by not having the Citizens Charter of Telecom implemented at the branch level. I have to travel 100 kilometers to make a complaint against this company. He wants me to call STD to complain against this company. They don't even give replies to the letters we send them, or emails. And do not call registry. They sell my telephone number to people and I get harassed.
Obviously,
and they're a party to it.
Mr. Khanna is an agitated man. It's not without reason. The services.
But I have never seen him in a telecom open house. No, if he's so good for consumers, he should come and represent him.
We've created one for him. Forget about
90 out of 100 people are telecom operators.
Okay, do you agree with
greedy telecom barons?
Ask him, does anybody stop him to come to the telecom?
Okay, please. Let's be honest. 1 second, sir. Let's be honest. Let's be transparent. Are you satisfied with the service provided at the price by the companies you represent?
The service providing has 2-3 limitations. One is the spectrum. We don't have sufficient spectrum. The way we have expanded and the speed at which we have expanded, because of the reason, the spectrum is not there. Spectrum is being vacated from the army. Army has promised, defense has promised that 45 megahertz of spectrum will be vacated, and that will be given to our operators. Once the sufficient spectrum is there, this complaint which is dropping. Secondly, you can't put towers. Like for instance, in Luton, Delhi, we can't put tower. The call is supposed to drop.
Okay.
There is another issue of interconnection.
Sure. Okay. At the net analysis, because we're running out of time, are you in favor of call rates coming down? Yes or no?
We are always reducing. There's no problem. Always reducing.
What do you say?
You see, the members of these two associations,
on the basis of
these
market forces,
the members of these two associations.
What will satisfy you?
No, the way they are influencing TRAI and the Ministry of Telecom is to the disadvantage of consumers. The TRAI is a soft regulator. Had they been like RBI, the members of these associations would not have been.
That's not his fault, right?
No, but I have a right to tell him on his face that your members are actually not treating the consumers with respect. Their grievance redressal mechanism, their quality of service is so bad, so bad. It's not because of spectrum. You don't reply to my letters or emails or telephones.
Would you be satisfied? Ask him, power reform started 50 years ago, and there is no electricity in his house for 2 hours. What does he do? My call only drops for a second. And he's
that doesn't just two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right.
You pay me compensation for that. Why don't you compensate me for deficiency of your service?
Please.
I have not. I have restricted because of spectrum and interconnection.
No, spectrum is not the reason. ये कह रहे 9 month fail होगा तो नादर आ जाएगी. ये क्या मतलब है? आप बोलो ना मुझे. You refund me the money for that.
At the end of it all, I guess there is a common ground between all this. Is that both of us, including Mr. Khanna here and including Mr. Khanna here, want cheaper rates, and don't we? All of us want cheap rates. But till then, we're bound to have cross connections.
And let the market forces decide those rates.
Let the market forces define. Thank you.
We are ready to take and we have been doing that. And let the
till we do that, we're always going to have what you see in front of you, and that's a roaming Discord. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Good.